Hi guys, I'm Adam Stotts. This is Tony Roman.
Jeff Bona.
How's, how to say the last name? All right, so we have two other guys. We're gonna do the first vlog, and as you can see, the page we have like 48 members right now. The Madison March. We kind of want to do it just to show, why college basketball and March Madness is so big and why it's special. And we've been showing a couple of the stats. One of them I think that stands out was the advertising compared to the Super Bowl, because everyone always tunes in for the commercials and stuff, but actually the March Madness has like $2 million more dollars spent on advertising. But we just wanted to kind of start off by answering questions that we've seen on there. And the first one is probably people going pro right now. So I'm going to turn it over to my friends over here. Let's go first. Willie Cauley-Stein. Good decision to come back, bad decision to come back. What do you think, Tony?
Willie Cauley-Stein, I think it's a good decision. I think he has potential to be a high pick as well as a successful NBA player here in the future. Obviously, if the money's there, you got to take it.
Yeah. What about you?
I totally agree with that. It kind of depends on the player, obviously, but if the money's there and you don't know if you could raise your draft stock by going back, you always got to take the money. You could always go back to college.
All right, let's go someone else now. Let's go. We had Cauley-Stein come back, but right now Jabari Parker hasn't decided. He was supposed to decide yesterday. He could decide today. You think he should stay or go? Top three projected.
I think he should go, as what I just said. The money's going to be there. He could have one knee injury, he could have any kind of injury, and guess what? That money is gone. You know what? Go pro. If you don't do well, something goes wrong, you can always go back to college. So you got to take the money when it's there.
Tony?
I think go either way, honestly. If he goes pro, obviously the money is there. He's going to be a top 5 pick, and obviously I think he could be a very successful NBA player. But if he goes back, he can obviously have potential to be the number 1 pick next year. He could play with Jahlil Okafor, the number 1 player in the country coming into Duke next year.
That's what I was gonna bring up.
They have a really good chance to win the national title next year if he decides to come back.
So that's what I was saying. If you're Jabari Parker, you have Okafor, who's coming in, number 1 player in the nation. You have, Rashid Suleiman, Quinn Cook. You have a bunch of players that are coming back. Does that influence his decision at all, either way?
I think it does, absolutely. Everyone wants to win. Obviously, Jabari's been a winner throughout the course of his career, and obviously, maybe he feels like he has some connection with Coach K, and definitely, I feel if he comes back, they are definitely the favorite to win next year.
Okay, so let's go right here. We got, obviously people are already talking about next year. Do you see UConn having a chance to repeat with Boatwright and DeAndre Daniels coming back? And if not, who is your top 2 favorites to? We'll say Jabari goes. Who's your top 2 favorites?
That's a very tough decision. Going into this year, obviously Duke, North Carolina, some of those guys are the favorites, and they didn't do too well in the tournament at all. My thing of picking teams for next year, especially this early, is you have no idea what's going to happen. Look, once you get to the tournament, UConn number 7 seed, Kentucky number 8 seed. How many people guessed that they'd be in the national championship at that stage, especially early enough, like the preseason? Obviously, all those power conferences, Duke, Kansas, Wisconsin's one of my personal favorites next year.
They are returning 4 starters. So, what about you, Tony?
Yep, I'd say if Jabari goes, I definitely think Wisconsin's up there, but I like the Kentucky Wildcats, even though I personally I'm an Indiana fan, so obviously there's a little bit of bad blood there, but obviously Calipari's bringing in top recruits. Even a lot of their bench players this year were McDonald's All-Americans back in high school.
People saw with Marcus Lee in the tournament. So.
Absolutely.
They actually got one of my high school teammates, when I was a senior, he was a freshman, Tyler Ulis going.
Oh, Ulis, yeah.
So good luck to him. Hopefully not for Kentucky, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since we are Indiana fans, we're going to close it out right here, since I figure a lot of our people on the site might be Indiana fans. We're struggling right now, but what do you expect to see from our new players, our team this year right now? We only have about 8 to 10 players coming in. James Blackman Jr. obviously headlining. What do you feel for IE next year? What are we looking at?
Well, obviously we're going to be a young team next year. I don't think we have any seniors on the roster. We're also lacking a lot of size. So I think what we're going to do is do a lot of run and gun, what we've done over the last few years, and just kind of listen. One thing we really lacked this year was this lights-out shooter. I think James Blackman really brings in that component to the team. He's obviously one of the best shooters in this class. So hopefully he can bring that. And then obviously Yogi Ferrell's going to have to increase his load a lot, even with Will Sheehy leaving in the Wavonle. So I expect us to compete for the Big Ten, obviously be somewhere mid-range in there. So hopefully we can win the Big Ten, as most Indiana fans expect every year and year out. But we'll see what happens.
Well, Jeff, let me ask you. So with down low, we have two. I mean, other than Peter Jerkin, who hasn't played at all, you have Devin Davis and Hunter Perea. Do you feel like those two are enough to hold down a down low presence in the Big Ten?
I love the way Devin Davis played this year. He played pretty well for a freshman. He's a bit small, but he plays bigger than his size, so that's good. And Hunter has some potential. He's flashed it here and there. But, I mean, I honestly think we need to add more size, and obviously the transfer of Luke Fisher and Noah going pro. So, I mean, if we can play small ball and be able to rebound still, I think we have a good chance to do well and make the tournament. But they're going to have to show that they're going to have to play bigger than what they are.
Okay, well, to leave you all on this, one last thing. We're going to, I feel like it would be a good thing just to guess the number 1 overall pick, just because, March Madness opened a lot of doors for a lot of players. So, Tony, who you have going number 1?
Got to go Andrew Wiggins. I mean, obviously there was some debate there with Joel Embiid being number 1, but I think he just missed too many games due to injury, and Andrew Wiggins just has so much potential. I mean, some people are comparing him to LeBron coming out, and
Right.
I just think he's an absolute monster.
Jeff?
I had to go with Jabari Parker. He has the most pro-ready game right now, and I mean, Andrew Wiggins is good too, but I think it's going to be Jabari Parker.
I think if I was to take someone, it would probably be, based on athleticism, I'd go Wiggins. If I want a guy who's pro-ready, I would go, Jabari. But I honestly think it'll be Embiid just because of his size. You got a 7-footer, really ready to bang down low with everybody. So I think it could go any way. But this is just vlog number 1 from us. Adam Stotts, Tony Roman,
Jeff
Jeff Bona. And we'll see you soon.